So I wanted to cover a couple of different things before we jump into the ET races. We all know that we are in this third dimension. And in the third dimension, we have been offered a choice. You may have heard this discussed like with Ra, the law of one. We're offered a choice here. And our choice is to continue our lives on a service to self path, meaning I don't care about anyone else. I'm going to do whatever I want to do and whatever else be damned, right? Service to self or service to others. Now, in the third dimension, we've had those two options for quite a while, service to self or service to others. I want to get my point across to you about spiritual journeys and how this works on all levels, guys, because we are not the only ones who are going through a spiritual journey. So if you choose the service to self path, you have to be, I believe that's at a 95 or plus % of a service to self. So you got to be a real dirtbag to kind of fall into that category, or you really have to have those motives that are always intentionally of yourself and you don't care if you harm others. That's the service to self path. And again, that was 95 plus % to fall into that category, 51 plus to fall into the service to others. But now that the earth is transitioning into the 5D, we are opening up for a third option, service to self, service to others, or service to God or source. Now, I want to tell you all of these things because all extraterrestrials living in the other dimensions, living on other planets, or wherever they're at, all interdimensionals, extraterrestrials, are somewhere on their own spiritual journey. They are somewhere on their own spiritual journey, guys, and have been. Now, they could have selected the service to self path a long time ago, and they could be a negative or malevolent extraterrestrial being. That happens, guys. There are malevolent beings that are more negative energies, negative entities, and there are benevolent beings that are more of love and light that have chosen the path of service to others and service to source. Determining which one you're dealing with is important, and I will tell you how to do that. Any being that you are contacted by or that connects with you in some way, you can just be sure, are you of love and light and God? Are you aligned with source? You can ask these questions and they can answer you, and you will feel it and you will know it to be true. Now, if you don't want to just ask them, you can ask them always and listen for the response. Sometimes they'll say no and bounce because they realize, oh no, this one's aware. I'm not going to pull any wool over these eyes, right? But if you're still unclear, conjure up the most loving feeling in your heart that you can imagine. Like imagine your newborn baby, or imagine kissing your husband on your wedding day, or whatever that thing is that just makes you feel the loveliest, right? And throw it mentally at that being. Throw the love right at them. Throw that love because they're highly perceptive to energy. If you throw love at a being that is not aligned with love and light and God, the being will leave. The being will flee. They can't stand that feeling. You've just pushed them out of your energetic field with love. Now, if the being is of light, you've just pushed all kinds of love at them, and they're going to hang around and say, hey, thanks, let me push them back at you too. Then you get to talking.